Dear learners, welcome again to our discussion on principles of management and on chapter planning part 2. Here we have discussed in the previous session what is and why of planning, what is planning, why do managers plan, planning and performance, goals, types of plans, and under part 2 you will discuss about setting goals and developing plans. Under this category we will discuss about approaches to setting goals, steps in goal setting, developing plans, approaches to planning, and finally we will discuss about contemporary issues in planning. So first of all, setting goals and developing plans. Under this category, we will discuss about approaches to goal setting. So what is approaches to goal setting? As stated earlier, goals provide the direction for all management decisions and actions and form the criteria against which actual accomplishment are measured. So all this we have learned from the definition of goals and plans. Everything organizational members do should be oriented towards achieving these goals, and these goals can be set either through a traditional process or by using management by objectives. We will discuss both the issue, traditional goal setting and management by objectives. First of all, traditional goal setting. Traditional goals are broad goals are set at the top of the organization. That means it is determined by the top level authority of the organization, and goals are then broken into sub goals for each organizational level. So we know that different types of level exist within the organizations. When the top level authority set a particular long-term goals, then it is divided to different levels for the achievement, and it assumes that top management knows the best because they can see the big picture. And goals are intended to direct, guide, and constrain from the above. This is called top-down approach. All the decisions are coming from the top-level authority of the organizations, and goals lose clarity and focus as lower-level managers attempt to interpret and define the goals for their areas of responsibility. It is because the lower level or sometimes mid-level managers are not involved in taking when it is taken the decision by the organization. So they don't know what is the explanation of all the decision taken here. So here we see the downside traditional goal setting. It means there is some problem exists with the traditional goal setting. See here, the top management, we need to improve the company's performance, and the mid-level managers is interpreting this. I want to see a significant improvement in these divisions of profit, but whether the organizational performance will be improved by increasing efficiency or profit is not clear to the next level, but they are assuming that we have to improve the profit. In the next level, what do you see? Increase profit regardless of the means. That means anywhere they have to increase the profit, but there is so many methodology exists by increasing skills, by increasing investment, by increasing productivity, by increasing efficiency. There is so many means, but they are assuming that anywhere. And finally, in the operational level, what do you see? Don't worry about the quality, just work fast. That means do what they are said. So see, there is no link of a relationship of the information flowing from top to down here. So What is the solutions here? Means, ends, and chain. This is the solution. The integrated network of the goals that results from establishing a clearly defined hierarchy of the organizational goals. That means who will reports to whom and who will follow which order, that should be clearly defined. And the goals, whenever it is developed by the top level authority, they should include the other levels so that they are well informed and what is expected from them. And achievement of lower level goals is the means by which to reach the higher level goals. It means that what is designed by the top level authority, that shall be achieved by the lower level, and they shall be included in the decision making process so that they know what is their responsibilities. Next, we will discuss about management by objectives, MBO. MBO is specific performance goals are generally determined by the employees and managers. It progress towards accomplishing the goals, and that is periodically reviewed. That means, first of all, the goals are determined by the joint participation of the worker and manager, and the activities are regularly checked whether it is achieved according to the plan or not. Then rewards are allocated on the basis of the progress towards the goal. Who are doing well, they are appreciated, and they are the key elements of MBO: goal specificity, participative decision making, explicit performance evaluation, and giving the feedback. So these are the major concept regarding management by objectives. First, the goal is set by the joint participation, then the goal is periodically reviewed, and finally rewards or feedback is provided after completion of each activities. There are some steps involved in MBO. First of all, the organization's overall objectives and strategies are formulated. Overall means the goal set for whole over the organization, for every department. Number two, major objectives are allocated among divisional and departmental units. That means the principal goals are divided for all the department. Like, for example, an organization wants to gain 100 crore profit. They have 10 departments and they divided 10 crore for each department. Step number 3, unit managers collaboratively set specific objectives for their units with their managers. When the divisional managers are said to perform a specific target, then he will sit with the followers or people working the divisions, and they jointly consult how they will achieve this. Specific objectives are collaboratively set with all department members, that we said. And actions plans defining how objectives are to be achieved are specified and agreed upon by managers and employees. That means in the particular department, they will set again their own activities by which they will achieve their individual goals. The action plans are implemented. What is decided by the department, what is decided by the divisions, they will perform accordingly. And the progress towards objectives periodically reviewed, and feedback is provided after 1 month, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. After a regular period of time, they will evaluate their own work, whether it is going on according to plan or not. If there is any correction required, they will give the feedback. And finally, successful achievement of objectives is reinforced by performance-based rewards. Those who will perform good, they will give motivation by providing some benefits, and those who are not able to perform according to the plan, they will get the chance to improve their efficiency, effectiveness by giving some corrections, by training. And by following these steps, an organization will be able to achieve its objective through management by objective process, MBO. Does MBO work? It means the efficiency of MBO. Why MBO is successful for organization? Top management commitment and involvement. Whenever top management decided about the organizations, they consider whole the organizations, all the people of the organizations. There is some problem also exist here. One, it is not effective in dynamic environment that requires constant resetting goals. Most of the time we see the external environment are not constant. It is changing in nature. Many factors, economic factor, government regulations, social factor are changes in nature. So sometimes MBO process is not able to cope up with that changes. It overemphasis on individual accomplishment may create problems with the teamwork. It is mostly, for example, one goal is divided into many people, but some people are too expert there, some people are weak there. So if they divided based on the number of people there, so there is a discrepancy of the performance. Sometimes it is not possible to take some corrective actions here. And allowing the MBA program to become an annual paperwork shuffle. Sometimes we prepare all the plan based on paperwork, but reality is different. So these are the problems of MBO. So here, characteristics of a well-written goals. How we can write the good goals for the organizations. There are some guidelines. Number one, well-written in terms of outcomes, not the actions. That means where the organization want to go, they have to be determined clearly. It means they have to focus on the ends, the ultimate output, not the means, how they will achieve. It shall be measurable and quantifiable. It means specifically defines how the outcomes is to be measured and how much it is expected. That means there is no ambiguity in the goals. What, when, how, time, energy, resources, everything should be quantitative here. Clear as to time frame, how long before measuring the accomplishment. That means it is short-term goals, mid-term goals, or long-term goals, and how long it will take to achieve the goals. Number 4, it shall be challenging, but not like that it will not be attainable. Definitely it will be challenging and it shall be attainable. How it is? Low goals do not motivate. People are just being relaxed. But if it is challenging goals, it motivates the worker. You have to break the standard. You have to do more. And it shall be written down. Focus on definite goals so that people, whenever they follow this, they can have the clear guideline. And finally, it shall be communicated to all necessary organizational members, those who will accomplish these goals. Every person that shall be involved during designing the goals. So there are some particular steps we have to follow in setting the goals, the 5 steps. Step number 1, review the organization's mission statement. A mission is a broad statement of an organization's purpose that guide what the organizational member think is important. Manager should review the mission before writing the goals because goals should reflect the mission. So where the organization wants to go, that shall be clearly evaluated before setting the goals. Evaluate the available resources. It means resource like human capital, financial strength, organizational structure, technical expertise shall be enough to attain the goals. Without that resource availability, it's not possible to achieve the goals. Determine the goals individually or with others. It means goals shall be specific, measurable, and timely. And write down the goals and communicate with the other people, those who will achieving it. And finally, review the results, whether the goals are being met or not. So by following these 5 steps, an organization may achieve their goals. Final topic of the discussion: contingency factors in a manager's planning. So contingency means the situational factors. Managers level in the organizations, we know there are three levels generally exist: top level, mid level, and the lower level. Top level generally take decision about the long-term goals, and the operational levels, mid level and lower level, make the activity plan to achieve that organizational goals. The contingency of all the levels, top level, mid level, lower level, are different. Whatever happening in the top level, it's not like the mid level and lower level. What is the nature of activities that is not similar to the higher level? Degree of environmental uncertainty. Sometimes the organizational environment is stable. Under this stable situation, the organization can make a specific plan, but there are some situations which is dynamic or changing in nature. In that case, flexible plans is highly suitable. Length of future commitment. Current plans affect the future commitment, and that must be sufficiently long term to meet those commitment. Here is the different levels we have discussed. Different levels situation is different, and this different situation organization have to take the different types of decision, plan, and goals. Approaches to planning. Establishing a formal planning department. A group of planning specialists who help managers write organizational plans. That means there is required expert members under the formal planning department. And planning is a function of management, so it should never become the sole responsibility of the planners. So they should contact with the management or administration of the organization before making the goals and plan. Involving organizational members in the process. Plans are developed by the members of the organizational units at various levels and then coordinate with other units across the organizations. It means it is coming from the top level, but it is executed by the lower level. So the lower level people should include in the planning process or goal making process, so that they are well informed and aware about the ultimate goal of the organizations and their individual target or activities. Contemporary issues in planning. Here we'll discuss about the criticism and dynamic environment. There's some criticism regarding plan. First of all, plan may create rigidity. That means whenever we do any plan, the situation sometimes demand to do something that is not involving the plan. But if we follow the rigid plan or a specific plan, sometimes it's not possible to make the change. Plan cannot be developed for dynamic environments that we told before. When situation is changed, plan may not work. Formal plan cannot replace intuition and creativity. We have discussed it in the previous chapter. Intuition, people make a decision based on their individual perception, experience, their environment. But whenever we make a plan, sometimes it's not possible to interact with the individual differences. So this is another problem in the plan. Planning focuses managers' attention, not today's competition, not tomorrow's survival. That means what we have to do today mostly focus on this issue, but how we will do in future based on the situation is not mostly focused by the plan. Formal planning reinforces today's success, which may lead to tomorrow's failure. That we told before, if situation changes, plan may not work. And finally, just planning is not enough. We have to do many things. So, how we can make effective planning in dynamic environment? That means one environment is changes. First, develop plans that are specific but flexible. We have to make room or options so that we can change the plan based on the situation. Understand the planning is an ongoing process. So planning means that this is true for now, but for tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, it might be changed. Change plan when conditions warrant. Based on necessity, we have to update the plan. And persistence in planning eventually pay off. It means if we are able to make appropriate plan, definitely it will return the output. And finally, flatten the organizational hierarchy to foster the development of planning skills at all organizational levels. We have to make flat, because flattened organizations make it possible to smooth flow of information. These are the terms, basic terms we have to know for the good understanding about the chapter. And these are the summary outcome. We have discussed what and why of planning. We have discussed the three issue here and we have discussed about goals and plans in the part 1. In the part 2, we have discussed about setting goals and developing plans. Under this category, we have discussed approaches, steps, and developing plans. And finally, we have discussed about approaches to planning. And we have discussed also contemporary issues in planning. So that's all for our discussion. Thank you for your patience hearing. Hope you will get some understanding from these discussions.